Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Beth Jones.
And I'm Peter Dubois. Tonight begins a stretch of bone-chilling temperatures that will definitely be uncomfortable and could even be dangerous.
It is certainly top of mind right now, so let's get right to a first check of our forecast to see how the rest of tonight is expected to play out.
All right, our first weather is brought to you by Scott's Recreation, locations in Turner, Manchester, Herman, and Orono, Maine. All right, folks, look at all these advisories across the state. These blue colors here indicate some wind chill watches all over the state. Even up north, we do have some winter storm watches. Not really much accumulation. It's mostly going to be blowing snow with very bitterly cold temperatures all across the state. Everybody's going to be in on this cold, cold weather. Today, though, not too bad. We had temperatures in the upper teens, some upper 20s by the coast, teens all over the state overall, Greenville, Clayton Lake, same thing up north by Caribou. But not much going on, though. We did have a few passing clouds throughout the day. Pretty calm at that, but this is just the calm, folks. Right now, it's looking pretty clear all across the Northeast. We'd have a little bit of lake effect snow just south of Watertown, where they're going to get a little bit more snow. For us, not much going on besides the cold air moving in. Tonight, we're going to continue to cool down, and temperatures will be in those single digits. Beth?
Alrighty, well, knowing how to be safe in the deep freeze temperatures also includes knowing how best to keep your home safe. We spoke to the professionals at Nichols Plumbing and Drain Cleaning today, and they say it's important to pay attention to temperatures both inside and outside to make sure that you don't end up with frozen pipes. Now, if your pipes do freeze, here is a great tip they gave us to stay safe while you are fixing the problem.
I would say the first thing you don't want to do is use an open flame. Using your open flame, you have a high risk of having a fire. We see that every year. One of the biggest things you like to use is either a hair dryer or a heat gun. I would say definitely take your hand and see how far away you are from your heat gun or your hair dryer, just because they also get very hot and you don't want to create a fire that way.
Well, John also says turning your thermostat up a few degrees will help make sure your pipes don't freeze, especially if you live in a trailer or house with very little insulation. Also, putting a blanket around your pipes and opening the cupboard doors will help keep that water running.
Well, temperatures expected to continue plummeting throughout the rest of the week. Multiple organizations around the state are operating as warming centers and are opening their doors to help people out. One of these places is the Bangor Area Recovery Network on 142 Center Street in Brewer, which will be welcoming anyone in need starting at 6 p.m. this Friday. They'll be offering warmth, snacks, and drinks, and even pancakes the following morning. Executive Director Robert Fickett spoke about the importance of offering a helping hand.
The temperatures are going to be so low Friday night that people who don't have shelter could die. So first and foremost, it's about saving lives. I want to be that person for somebody that just extends a kind hand.
And here on your screen, you can see some of the available warming centers. There are facilities in a number of communities across our region, including others that are not listed right here. So for a complete list, you can head to our website, foxbangor.com.
In other news, a blown tire sent a kerosene delivery truck off the road just after noontime today. The truck was traveling northbound on I-95 in Etna when the tire blew, sending the truck off the roadway to the right and rolling onto its right side. Now, there were no injuries, but some of the K2 kerosene leaked out of the truck that was fully loaded with 2,700 gallons of the home heating oil. Maine State Police, Etna Fire and Rescue responded along with DOT and the Department of Environmental Protection.
The town of Orland said yes tonight to the construction of a brand new fire station. Residents in the town voted 259 to 105 in favor of the $4 million project. It's not exactly clear when construction will begin, but the new station will be built on Gray Meadow Road. The new station is expected to include an additional bay, higher ceilings, dedicated areas for decontamination, and improved ventilation and drainage.
Meanwhile, the controversy over the decision to move the Ellsworth police station has begun to play out in court, with the first hearing on the issue being held today. Our Matthew Jurancic has the story.
City Councilor Steve O'Halloran and 3 businesses filed a motion to issue a temporary restraining order to halt renovations after they say the city of Ellsworth did not give the public enough notice about moving its police station. Justice Bruce Maloney rejected the motion Wednesday in court, saying there was not enough evidence at this time. Lawyers from both sides had their opinions on the outcome.
Temporary restraining orders have a very high burden of proof, so it wasn't unexpected, but it's also always very useful to work with the court and the other lawyers to sort of frame the issues that will be considered on the appeal, this ADB appeal that we've talked about.
That was what we expected because there was no basis to temporarily suspend the city's action.
The judge said his decision was also based on the fact that the plaintiff missed deadlines when filing the motion to stop construction for the new police station. Residents of the city were in attendance, and some say they believe this was the right call.
I think it went as I expected it would. I didn't think the temporary injunction would be granted, and I was glad that the motion to dismiss was not granted, and I thought that was fair.
This was the first of multiple hearings. Eaton Peabody attorney Michael Hodgins says he believes the judge will rule in favor of the city come May, when he says the case is expected to be resolved.
There's nothing today that suggested to us that the arguments are really any different on the merits. And at the end of the day, we think that the city followed the proper procedures, but we'll have to let the court decide that.
In Ellsworth, Matthew Juronsik reporting for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
The last of the $850 inflation relief checks are in the mail. The remaining 10,200 relief checks, which had been awaiting additional funding, were sent by U.S. Postal Service on Tuesday. The payments that remained came from tax returns filed near the October 31st deadline. The additional funding came from the governor's Emergency Winter Relief Program. The governor's office says they had anticipated a 4% increase in filers, but as a result of advertisement over the summer, the actual increase was nearly 12%. They say the unanticipated response underscored the program's success, reaching Maine residents who are most at risk, largely those not required to file a tax return. The Department of Administrative and Financial Services now pivots to processing the $450 winter energy relief payment checks.
Well, Maine's public advocate says competition is failing to produce lower electricity rates for residential customers. William Harwood released a report on Wednesday that encourages the legislature to scrap the current competitive process for electricity for residential customers. Instead, he suggests all residential customers should pay the standard offer rate produced by a competitive bid process. The report, which was commissioned by the legislature, will be provided to the Maine Legislature's Energy, Utilities, and Technology Committee. Harwood says some low-income Mainers are being duped by promises of lower rates, but often end up paying more. He says one vendor charges more than double the current standard offer.
Last year was the deadliest year on record for Maine pedestrians, with 21 people killed. More than $860,000 is now on its way for safety projects across the state to help reverse that concerning trend. The money is coming from the bipartisan infrastructure law that Senator Susan Collins and 9 of her colleagues helped to negotiate. Bar Harbor is among those receiving money. The town is getting $200,000 to create a comprehensive transportation plan to reduce regional roadway fatalities, vehicle accidents, and congestion, as well as develop climate-resilient infrastructure. The plan is especially important to Acadia National Park, which welcomes more than 3 million people annually. The roadways leading to Acadia have a high rate of fatalities. Hancock County as a whole had 49 fatal accidents between 2016 to 2020. And still to come on Fox 22 News at 10, we'll have a report about a 17-year-old who shot and injured his brother in Jay.
And we'll hear from the Red Cross about this winter's blood supply. Those stories and more local news when we return.
When you're ready to tackle your next building project, depend on the knowledge and experience of Hammond Lumber Company, your building project partner since 1953.
Nearly all commercial vehicles carry big insurance policies. So if you're hurt by one of these box trucks, or by a garbage truck, or by any kind of commercial vehicle, you may have a big case worth big money. But they don't just give that money up. You need someone who's going to fight for it. That's exactly why you need to call the Twos. I'm Jim with Lowry & Associates. If you've been hurt by any commercial truck, call the Twos. We win for you.
Hurt by a commercial truck? Call the Twos. Call 222-2222.
If you're eligible for Medicare and Medicaid, a Medicare Advantage plan from Anthem Maine Health can come with all the benefits you want and zero compromises. Just go to anthemainehealth.com/answers or call 855-753-3928 for a one-on-one Medicare plan review. Ask about our $0 monthly premium plans that include dental, vision, and hearing coverage, along with transportation, a free gym membership, and $0 copay for prescriptions, all for zero extra cost. Plus, you could be eligible for extra benefits to help you save even more. We have plans with up to $2,500 a year to help you pay for over-the-counter health items, groceries, and living expenses like cell phone, electric, or water bills, all on a single prepaid MasterCard you can use at thousands of locations nationwide. Call Anthem Maine Health at 855-753-3928 or visit anthemmainehealth.com/answers and get a Medicare Advantage plan with zero compromises for you and your wallet.
It's high school basketball season, and ABC7 and Fox 22 are here to keep you up to date with your local scores and highlights during Friday Night Fast Break. Get out and support your hometown teams and look for our sports crew to get your own free Friday Night Fast Break t-shirt courtesy of
Central Theater for the Performing Arts, Coastal Auto Parts, Eli's Market, Engstrom's Auto Service, Ray's Plumbing and Heating, and Two Old Goats Antiques and Artisans.
You can join Fox 22 and ABC7 online at foxbangor.com. Be a part of the conversation on Twitter and join our Facebook family at Fox ABC Maine. Follow, like, watch. Download the new Fox Bangor app from the App Store or Google Play and get your news anytime, anywhere.
A 17-year-old from Jay is in custody, accused of shooting and wounding his 20-year-old brother during an argument at their home. Brad Rogers tells us more.
Last I heard, he's doing good, so he's going to make it.
Roland Purington lives next door to the two brothers and had just left his house when police say the younger one shot the older one. What he doesn't understand is how an argument could escalate to this with two brothers who were so close.
I mean, these two boys are... They do things together. They go ice fishing. They go everywhere together. The youngest one that, shot him, he's devastated. I mean, it's something must have snapped, and they'll get over it. They're both brothers. They love each other.
Caden McDowell was out working on his car when he heard the gunshot.
I heard a loud, bang.
He went to school with both brothers here in Jay.
Yeah, I grew up with them and went to school with both of them. They both were really close. So this is a huge shock to me.
We're told the boy's father was working out of state when this happened. His 20-year-old son was flown by Life Flight to Central Maine Medical Center, where he's recovering from the gunshot wound. Jay's police chief says he was lucky.
There was an altercation between two brothers, and one pulled out a firearm and shot his brother.
In the chest area?
Chest area, yes.
The 17-year-old suspect is now in custody at the Long Creek Youth Development Center, charged with aggravated assault. It's where he made a behind-closed-doors virtual court appearance before a juvenile court judge in Farmington.
Their father asked me to check on them, make sure everything's good. I go over check on them. They're good, happy, laughing. I mean, I love them kids. They're awesome.
Police are still investigating just whose gun it was. Mr. Purington told us as far as he knew, there were no guns in the house.
And that was Brad Rogers reporting. Well, armed teachers and security guards at schools. It's an idea Republican lawmakers are proposing at the State House in response to school shootings. Mal Meyer has more.
I think the time has come.
Representative Stephen Foster says he started thinking about this bill after seeing the Parkland shooting when 17 people were shot and killed at a Florida high school.
And during the first reports, it came out that an educator, a coach, had given his life to try to protect students.
His bill would allow school employees to have or use a gun at public or approved private schools, so long as they undergo specific trainings and are authorized to do this by the school board. This would be voluntary for employees.
I put some stipulations in here.
Democratic Representative Vicky Dudera, co-chair for the legislature's Gun Safety Caucus, says in a statement, "We all want to keep our children safe in schools. It is our top priority. But our caucus believes that putting guns in the classroom is not the way to do it, and the teachers we have spoken with are not in favor of this measure."
And it's not the trend we want to see Maine go in, or certainly any other state in the country.
Lynn Ellis is with the Maine Gun Safety Coalition.
Adding firearms to a situation doesn't solve the problem, and there are many other ways to go around making schools safer.
Her group believes teachers wouldn't get the same level of training as law enforcement.
Teachers are there to teach our children, make them feel safe and secure.
In some of the school shootings across the nation, there were trained law enforcement present that were unable to stop the threat. How do you respond to that kind of criticism?
Well, I understand that. I think in some of those cases, it's been shown that the actions were not what we would consider up to standard.
Representative Foster argues you don't know how someone might react in these situations until it happens. CBS 13 reached out to the Maine Education Association, which represents thousands of Maine educators, to ask about this issue, but we did not receive a response.
That was Mal Meyer reporting. Meanwhile, a judge who has served for 2 decades at the Superior Court and District Court levels has been selected by Governor Janet Mills to serve on the Maine Supreme Judicial Court. Justice Wayne Douglas of Old Orchard Beach was first nominated to the Maine District Court by former Governor Angus King back in 2002. On the Superior Court, Douglas has presided over the York County Treatment and Recovery Court. He also initiated a mental health docket in York County.
Well, you may not realize it, but February not only brings unpredictable weather, but it's weather that can contribute to a blood supply shortage. Storms can force blood drives to cancel. The American Red Cross is closely monitoring the weather, and they are urging anyone with type O blood to donate, especially if you have type O negative. They are also hoping a wide range of people will turn out to give blood at a diversity blood drive being held at the Donor Center in Bangor on February 10th.
I'm looking for Black donors to come out and donate blood because 1 in 3 Black donors are a match for sickle cell, and that would be amazing because in the U.S. alone there's about over 100,000 people with sickle cell disease, and it's a chronic disease that is debilitating and unfortunately does not have a cure.
Anyone who donates blood in February gets a $10 Amazon gift card and is also entered for a chance to win a trip for 2 to Florida. To find out where blood drives are being held in your area or to make an appointment, you can go to redcrossblood.org.
Just a simple and really effective way to give back to your community.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's just such a need, and we saw that really stretched thin over the course of the pandemic as well.
Well, and I think when it's interesting they bring up the point of the weather. I think when you're thinking about the challenges that winter weather brings, probably the last thing that crosses your mind is, or one of the last things is, oh, blood donations are probably down. But it's absolutely true that those weather challenges, when they prohibit travel, can affect that type of thing. And you don't want to see that. You don't want to see that shortage get so bad that care is inhibited. Folks can't get the blood products that they need at hospitals.
Right.
So yeah, definitely important to step up and donate when you can.
Absolutely. All right. Well, still to come on the 10 p.m. news on Fox 22, we'll have the latest from the debt ceiling discussions taking place on Capitol Hill.
And we'll have a report about the increasingly belligerent posture China is taking with Taiwan. Those stories and more when the 10 p.m. news on Fox 22 comes right back.
Your first car, your first edition, and your first edition. We're here to help with all of life's firsts. Brewer Federal Credit Union. BrewerFCU.org.
It's your journey. Own every mile in an available H-Track all-wheel drive Hyundai SUV. Get 2.9% APR on the 2023 Tucson or Santa Fe, or up to $750 bonus cash. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today.
When you've experienced fire and smoke damage in your home, when pipes break and you have water everywhere, when you're concerned about your family's health because of mold, you need a friendly face to take care of it all. You need the friendly faces of Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration. We're just a click or call away. Whatever life throws at you, Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration is here for you. Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration. You keep the memories. We'll handle the rest.
You've lived quite a life. Now it's time to live it up. We're here to help you enjoy all you've earned. Brewer Federal Credit Union. BrewerFCU.org.
There's one number you need to know. It's called Joe.
Tyree Nichols' family laid him to rest in Memphis today, vowing to take on the fight for police reform. Fox's Steve Harrigan has the story.
Tyree was a beautiful person, and for this to happen to him is just unimaginable.
An emotional farewell to 29-year-old Tyree Nichols in Memphis. Family and friends gathering for a final goodbye nearly a month after he died, following a brutal beating by 5 Memphis police officers during a traffic stop.
We have to fight for justice.
Yeah.
We cannot continue to let these people brutalize our kids.
Vice President Kamala Harris and the family members of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor were among those in attendance at Nichols' funeral Wednesday. The Reverend Al Sharpton delivered the eulogy, which included a call to action on the George Floyd Justice in Policing Act.
Some of us are going to fight until we make this legislation happen.
Efforts to revive the bill are already in the works. Several civil rights organizations will be virtually meeting with Senator Chuck Schumer and Congressman Hakeem Jeffries this week. Nichols' family has also been talking to Senator Cory Booker, who helped draft it.
We need all of us to finally get this reform.
Ahead of the State of the Union next week, the White House says President Joe Biden will also be pushing for the bill during a meeting with Congressional Black Caucus members on Thursday.
He's continuing to call on Republicans in Congress to join with Democrats and ensure our justice system lives up to its name.
Tyree Nichols' parents will be attending the State of the Union address next week. In Memphis, Steve Harrigan, Fox News.
Well, in a stunning development for a sitting president, the FBI conducted another search on President Biden's property. Wednesday's search is the third one since classified documents were found at the president's former office back in November. Fox's Madeline Rivera reports.
We've been fully cooperative. The president's been fully cooperative.
Spokesman Ian Sams says the White House is being transparent after the FBI searched the president's vacation home in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, Wednesday morning. Investigators were looking for classified documents.
They went through the Rehoboth Beach House and no classified marked documents were found.
The 3.5-hour search was planned and coordinated with the president's attorneys. It comes nearly 3 months after the president's personal lawyers first discovered a set of classified items at the Penn Biden Center in Washington. FBI agents searched the president's former office after that initial finding in November. Then last month, the FBI did another search at President Biden's Wilmington, Delaware home after his attorneys found more classified materials in his house and garage.
He's moving quickly to give them access to his home in Wilmington, to give access to his home in Rehoboth so they can do a full search, so that they're able to get access to the information so that they can move ahead in their review.
But the timeline has raised questions from critics who argue the investigation lacks urgency.
This is hardly timely since you first discovered classified material in November.
And the White House is facing growing calls for accountability.
I really think the White House should really give us
what are these documents? Why were they there? And the American public's not going to rest till they get that.
Wednesday's search was done on the day Special Counsel Robert Hur officially began his job overseeing the investigation into President Biden's handling of classified documents. In Washington, Mather Rivera, Fox News.
Meanwhile, high-stakes talks with low expectations as Speaker Kevin McCarthy meets with President Biden at the White House. The two have been at odds over what to do about the federal debt ceiling and what possible cuts could be made to government spending. Fox's Lauren Blanchard has more from Washington on the talks and where they go from here.
Speaker Kevin McCarthy made the trek from Capitol Hill to the White House to meet with President Biden Wednesday as a debt ceiling debate and budget standoff loom large over the nation's capital.
We have different perspectives, but we both laid out some of our vision of where we'd want to get to. And I believe after laying both of out, I can see where we can find common ground.
In his first sit down with President Biden as the new speaker, McCarthy is pushing for deep spending cuts, though it's unclear what will satisfy the hard right members of his party. In exchange, the speaker will deliver the needed votes to avoid a default.
It is right, appropriate, and entirely normal that our need to raise the debt limit would be paired with negotiations regarding Democrats' runaway printing and spending.
President Biden and most Democrats say it's reckless of Republicans to use the debt ceiling as a bargaining chip.
Speaker McCarthy doesn't have a plan, so he is not really negotiating. And the clock is ticking.
Despite all the big talk, neither side has released a proposed budget. The White House says the president's will come in March. House Republicans are looking at April.
What Biden is trying to do in the case of McCarthy is to put the pressure on him. All right, you want to cut the budget. What specifically you're proposing to cut?
The Treasury Secretary said she can keep the U.S. from default until roughly June. That is when the nation will no longer be able to pay its debts without some congressional action. In Washington, Lauren Blanchard, Fox News.
In other news tonight, prosecutors release a critical piece of evidence in the double murder trial of former South Carolina attorney Alex Murdaugh. Fox's Jonathan Seri has the details.
Alec Murdaugh sobbing in court Wednesday as prosecutors play a video of his wife Maggie and son Paul's final moments. The 50-second video was recorded around 8:44 p.m. on Paul's phone in the dog kennel area of the family's South Carolina hunting estate. It's the area Maggie and Paul were found dead on the night of June 7th, 2021.
You hear three different voices in the video. You can tell because they're so different.
Prosecutors allege the third voice on the recording is Alec Murdaugh. This would contradict his claim of never being at the scene of the crime. Police believe Maggie and Paul were gunned down just moments after the video was shot at about 8:50 p.m. A forensic digital expert from the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division, or SLED, also testifying Murdaugh's cell phone call logs are incomplete. Calls made to Maggie on the night of the murders are missing from his phone, even though they appear on his wife's phone.
A gap like that would indicate that it was actually removed from there.
Meanwhile, the defense tried to use SLED's cell phone findings to further prove Murdaugh was not at the scene.
It appears the phones were not together being moved by the same person because they were not recording steps.
Murdaugh's trial is expected to last several weeks. He has pleaded not guilty to the double murder charges against him. In Atlanta, Jonathan Seri, Fox News.
And as the U.S. works with allies to confront and contain China, Beijing is making more aggressive moves toward a close Western ally. Fox's Greg Palcott has more.
Another military threat could be heating up, this time in East Asia. Taiwan responding to an unexpected new threat from China on Wednesday. Beijing sending almost 36 military aircraft and 9 warships into the Taiwan Strait, a large-scale deployment that prompted the Taiwanese military to scramble its own fighter jets and put its Navy and missile defense systems on alert. The Chinese military drills are being seen as a preparation for a blockade or even an invasion after decades of saber rattling. The U.S. and NATO allies vowing to stand behind Taiwan as tensions escalate.
China poses a threat. The message is again and again that security is not regional. Security is global.
The U.S. military has been warning about moves like this for some time. Last month, a top Air Force general told his officers to be ready for a conflict over Taiwan by 2025. But China says the U.S. is responsible for the increased tensions because of its military support for the Taiwanese government.
The Taiwan issue is at the heart of China's core interests and the #1 red line that must not be crossed.
The new threat comes as Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin visits the Philippines, trying to convince a key regional ally to stand with the U.S. as it confronts China.
It serves to help protect our country and your country in a combined way.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken is visiting Beijing this weekend, where he is expected to raise these issues with his Chinese counterpart. In London, Greg Falcott, Fox News.
Well, still to come on Fox 22 News at 10, we'll tell you all about a goose in the town of Plymouth that local residents have taken under their wing.
And in sports, Maine men's hockey swept number 17 ranked Providence over the weekend. Outplay from their star goalie helped bring home those wins. That story coming up.
It's Take Two for NASCAR's best. In a race you have to see to believe. The Clash at the Coliseum, Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern on Fox.
CEM DP Porter Contractors has been in business for over 40 years in the Bangor area. We specialize in design build for commercial, medical, and residential. We can assist our customers with anything from lot procurement to helping find financing for your project, along with building maintenance and renovation. CEM DP Porter Contractors is currently hiring in Herman for multiple positions, including carpenters and laborers. We offer vacation, holidays, a 3% IRA match, and competitive pay. If interested in applying, please contact Jason at 207-848-7486.
For over 75 years, Ariens has been blowing away the competition. Ariens snow throwers simply overpower other brands. See for yourself by watching the screen and then head to Jim Small Engines in Arlington, where these fabulous high-throwing Ariens snow throwers are on sale at unbelievable prices. Jim Small Engines brings 40 years experience in sales and service, and Jim knows that Ariens snow throwers are the best, but supplies are limited, so watch the screen and take advantage of the great sale prices on Ariens snow throwers now at Jim Small Engines, Snows Corner Road, Arlington.
Let's face it, getting training and experience is hard, but at Loring Job Corps, we can help. From certifications in automotive technology, obtaining your CDL, or learning building trades, we have you covered. Maybe you prefer joining the high-tech world of computer networking or cybersecurity. We have that as well. Don't delay, get in the driver's seat to your future today. And the best part, Loring Job Corps is free. Receive free training, free meals, and even free housing. Call or go to jobcorps.gov/Loring. Job Corps careers begin here.
Toyota's all-wheel drive vehicles not only conquer the elements, Toyota conquers its competitors by sheer selection. You see, Toyota has 20 different all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive models. That's more than Subaru, more than Honda, more than Jeep. Conquer most anything with a tough Tacoma 4x4, the best-selling midsize pickup for 17 years, and named best truck among midsize pickups. See your New England Toyota dealer, your all-wheel drive headquarters. Toyota, let's go places.
It's high school basketball season, and ABC7 and Fox 22 are here to keep you up to date with your local scores and highlights during Friday Night Fast Break. Get out and support your hometown teams and look for our sports crew to get your own free Friday Night Fast Break t-shirt courtesy of
C&K Variety, Door Construction LLC, Herman Meadow Golf Club, Leonard Heavy Rescue, Maine Collision Center, and the More True team of Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate.
A second round of snow, freezing rain, and sleet pummeled parts of Texas, Arkansas, and Tennessee today. Crews worked around the clock to treat roads, and Fox's Anna Eliopoulos has more.
I've never seen ice like this.
Sleet and freezing rain leading to widespread outages across the South on Wednesday. In Texas, ice weighed down power lines, leaving more than 250,000 homes and businesses without electricity at times. 2 years ago, frigid weather caused the state's power grid to fail. But for now, officials say the system is operating normally.
Of course, we're concerned about that, but it's not as cold as it was last year, so I guess it's different.
The brutal weather is all part of an Arctic blast that's been making its way across the country this week. The system is leaving behind sheets of ice on roads from Texas to Tennessee. More than 1,400 flights were canceled on Wednesday as crews worked to clear runways and de-ice planes. The NBA game between the Washington Wizards and the Detroit Pistons postponed because the Pistons are grounded in Dallas.
You know what? It's been a lot worse than when we thought it was going to get. A lot worse.
The National Weather Service says ice storm warnings are in effect through Thursday morning. Parts of Oklahoma and Tennessee could see up to a quarter inch. First responders say they are out responding to numerous accidents.
They're helping stranded motorists. They're even picking up some of our call takers and dispatchers to get them into work.
Drivers are urged to take it slow, with roads expected to refreeze overnight. Anna Eliopoulos, Fox News.
Wow. Just some really compelling images from the south there, stuff that you don't usually see. Obviously, a lot for them to contend with.
Yeah.
You know, we're used to that kind of weather.
So we take for granted, you know, the ability to deal with ice on the roads, the ability to deal with large amounts of snow, all of those things. It's second nature to folks in New England and certainly to us Mainers. You know, folks in Texas and other parts of the South, it is not their normal fare to deal with that kind of weather, and it's pretty scary to see.
Absolutely. So glad to see them, you know, staying safe as possible and treating those roads as much as they can as well.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, our full 5 days coming up to find out what's happening in our neck of the woods. Stay with us.
All right, folks, we have some wind chill watches in the area. It's going to get bitterly cold the next couple of days. How cold is it going to get? And how cold is that wind chill going to be? I'll have all the answers coming up.
Come bowl a few games here at Bangor Brewer Bowling Lanes. We're one of the only candlepin bowling alley centers in Maine, conveniently located in the heart of Brewer. You always have the opportunity to simply bowl for fun. However, you can also join a league. We have youth leagues, adult and senior leagues. Now don't forget, we also host birthday parties for under $100, and gift certificates are also available. Give us a call right away at 989-3798 to make reservations for your birthday party today.
Are you fed up with high prices at the pump? Do monthly utility bills drain your wallet?
If you're nodding your head yes, Renewal by Andersen is your best solution. They custom build and install weather-tight replacement windows and back them with a generous, fully transferable limited warranty.
Call now to schedule your free design consultation. Plus, take advantage of this limited time offer with incredible savings and attractive financing. Don't miss out. Call Renewal by Andersen today.
Here at Black Fly Coffee Company, quality will never be compromised. No matter what type of coffee you choose, whether it's hot, iced, or frozen, you can feel confident that our products are the highest caliber. We're here to assist you with your morning cup of joe, along with your mid-afternoon pick-me-up. And while here, grab a pastry for a snack. We always have fresh pastries available from a local business right here in the area. We look forward to meeting you soon.
Silver Fox Automotive is a family-owned and operated company with more than 30 years of experience. We are originally from the county and offer competitive prices and promise you will be completely satisfied with our work. We offer a stress-free experience to both our new and returning customers. We only use parts from reputable brands to ensure your vehicle is safe to drive. Here at Silver Fox, there will always be a friendly face to greet you. Come see us at 2004 Audlin Road in Herman.
Magnificent new costumes on The Masked Singer, February 15th on Fox.
All right, our main weather today is brought to you by Diversified Ink Tattoo Studios in Penobscot Plaza in Bangor, providing custom ink by licensed artists for over 20 years. All right, folks, get ready. It's going to get cold. Make sure those fire pits are cranked up and you got the heat going, because we will absolutely need all the heat we need. Temperatures will be cooling down right now. Not too bad. Atlanta, Georgia, 53. But look just north. Nashville, 32 degrees. There's actually lots of ice going on in Texas right now, Oklahoma area. Arkansas is getting in some severe icing there. Lots of crippling ice where everything is on a standstill. It is pretty cold here. Not much going on snow or ice-wise here in our state, but it is cold, and this is just the start. The calm before the storm, I like to say. It does feel like we're at around 7 degrees here in town. Same thing all over the state, especially up north. Bar Harbor coming in just a little bit warmer with that feels like temperature at around 13 degrees. It's going to get cold, folks. Like I said, we do have some winter storm watches in effect up north, closer to Caribou area. But here in town, we do have these colors right here. That is actually wind chill watches, which most likely we will see some wind chill warnings in the area where sometimes, especially into those morning hours over the weekend, we could see those feels like temperatures around 50 below zero. Just think about how cold that is. That is bitterly cold. That means 10 minutes or less of exposed skin outside will cause frostbite, folks. So really take this cold seriously. It is going to be bitterly cold. Easily the coldest air of the season. Our average high should be around 28 this time of year. Tomorrow, pretty much near average, 29. Bam, Friday. That's when that cold air moves in. This is actually going to be our morning high. 10 degrees morning high. During the day, we're actually going to cool off and we'll be hovering at around 5 to 10 below zero with the wind chill much colder than that. Then Saturday, we stay cold and those overnight lows will be at around 20 to 25 below zero with the wind chill at around 45 to 55 below zero in some spots. But hey, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Look what happened Sunday, Monday into Tuesday. Temperatures really start to warm back up into the 30s, even some above average, above freezing temperatures as well by middle of next week. Wind's not too bad right now, but look how windy it's going to get. We will see some wind gusts close to 45 miles an hour in some spots, combined with that very cold Arctic air moving in. That is a recipe for disaster, folks. It is going to be bitterly cold Friday into Saturday. So those 2 days you do not want to leave your house. If you have anything to do, only if you really have to leave your house, that's when I would recommend leaving your house because that is how cold it is going to feel. Not much going on, though, weather-wise, snow, rain, nothing in our state right now. We do have some clouds in the area, but overall, we're pretty clear. Most of the Northeast is pretty clear as well, as we do have that high pressure from Canada that's pretty much moving in the area, and that is why all those cold temperatures will be moving in. For us, though, not much going on here in town. Maybe a couple of flurries Thursday night into the morning hours on Friday, right before that cold front comes in. A little bit up north, we will see a bit more snow, especially closer to Caribou area and just north of Greenville. We're looking at a couple of inches of snow, especially into those morning hours on Friday. In general, though, not much going on. It's going to be the cold air we really have to talk about. Maybe a trace of snow here in town, a couple inches up north. But that's not really what we want. The cold air is exactly what's going to be coming in, and it is going to be a very, very cold. Tonight, same story. Another cold night. Temperatures around 2 degrees, mostly clear skies. With those calm winds, a recipe for temperatures to go south. When it's calm winds outside, clear skies, that is when those colder temperatures move in. Tomorrow, not too bad. Near average, increase in clouds. Temperatures around 29 degrees, another decent day out there. Our extended forecast outlook does show that bitterly cold air Friday into Saturday. Look at those overnight lows, 20 to even 25 below zero in some spots. Sunday, though, we start to warm up, especially into Monday. Temperatures will be hovering in those lower 30s. Beth?
All right, brace yourselves.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We will be. All right, and sports is coming up next, so stay with us.
Whether it's coaching kids soccer, volunteering at the local firehouse, helping out at the food pantry, or providing the children of our employees with scholarships, the New England Toyota dealers and the thousands of people we employ play a role in lifting up the community. We're proud to serve you and to be part of those things that benefit us all. Toyota. Let's go places.
Roto-Rooter has served the greater Bangor area and beyond for 35 years, offering plumbing, hydrojetting, snaking, descaling, video inspection, and grease interceptor cleaning services. For all your residential and commercial clogs, call Roto-Rooter today, 990-1234.
And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
It's high school basketball season, and ABC 7 and Fox 22 are here to keep you up to date with your local scores and highlights during Friday Night Fast Break. Get out and support your hometown teams and look for our sports crew to get your own free Friday Night Fast Break t-shirt courtesy of
Central Maine Denture, Corinth Auto Parts, John R. Crooker Agency, Osborne's Plumbing and Heating Incorporated, Sweet Cheeks Bakery, and Warren's Waterfront Restaurant.
Tonight's Sports is brought to you by Herman Motor Company. Whether you're looking for a new vehicle or to have your current vehicle serviced or detailed, Herman Motor Company has it all.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. We will start with the big news. This morning, Tom Brady officially announced his retirement exactly 1 year after he first called it quits. The NFL great said his retirement this time is for good. He briefly retired after last season, only to return to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for one more year. The Bucs struggled for much of the season, including losing 5 of 6 games for a stretch in the early part of the year, September and October. But nevertheless, Brady will go down as one of the best quarterbacks and professional football players ever, if not the best. With 7 Super Bowl championships, 6 of them right here in New England. He actually kicked off the Patriots dynasty with his first back in 2001, and his last championship coming with Tampa in 2020.
Morning, guys. I'll get to the point right away. I'm retiring for good. I know the process was a pretty big deal last time, so when I woke up this morning, I figured I'd just press record and let you guys know first. So I won't be long-winded. You only get one super emotional retirement essay, and I used mine up last year. So really thank you guys so much, to every single one of you, for supporting me.
All right, now I could go on and list all of my favorite Brady moments, but I'd take up all the time we have left in the show. So now let's move on to some hockey up in Orono. The Maine Black Bears swept Providence over the weekend, and a huge thanks to goalie Victor Osman, who put on a performance to remember. Ryan Sudol has more.
We need to be trying to play our best hockey at the end of the year. In order to do that, we have to get a little bit better every day. We did that last weekend.
On Friday and Saturday, Maine men's hockey completed their first sweep of a ranked team this year, taking down number 17 Providence in 2 games at the Alphon.
It was special to do that, especially at home this weekend. And it's hard to beat any team in this league, and it's a lot harder to beat them two nights in a row.
A big part of it was the performance of junior goalie Victor Osman. He allowed 2 goals over the 2 games, including a 52-save shutout on Saturday.
I'm just trying to stay in the moment and stop the puck.
It's kind of all coming together. It's his 3rd go-around as a junior now, and he's starting to get comfortable with the league and the shooters and everything. It's just a day-by-day process.
A process which has paid off huge. He's allowed around 2 goals a game this year compared to 3 last year. Head coach Ben Barr says it all comes down to a harder work ethic.
He's working harder in practice, which in turn is paying off in games.
You're not going to be perfect, but you can always control the work ethic. Work hard every day and then just hope for the best.
Even with his work ethic getting so much praise, Osman says his defenders were as big a part of the shutout as he was.
I can trust them, and I think that reflects our game in the defensive zone.
His teammates were right there with him, so he can play with confidence.
We all know that we all trust each other and that we're going to do our jobs.
And the Black Bears will need everyone to do their jobs this weekend. They play another ranked slate at home, starting with number 3 Boston University on Friday.
We can't stop being aggressive just because they're a skilled team. They can make plays, so we just got to shut them down early and don't give them the time and space.
In Orono, I'm Ryan Sudol, ABC 7, Fox 22 Sports.
Thanks for that, Ryan. Looking forward to see what the Black Bears can do Friday against BU. Let's stay on the ice here. It was a huge girls hockey tilt at Penobscot Ice Arena on Wednesday. Pioneers looking for their 7th straight win. Pioneers, the number 2 team in the North, taking on Cheverus, number 1 team in the South. Will start in the first period. Pioneers up 1. Michaela Talbot, a perfect pass over to Marina Friedman. She ties things up at 1. Still in the first, Pioneers trying to retake that lead. Megan Delahanty's going to get it through the 5-hole, but what a play from Briella Doherty to save the day. Later on, though, Penobscot would get their revenge. The captain, Emma McNeil, going through the defense, fires the wrister. She beats Ellie Stojkovic, 2-1 Pioneers. Second period, Paige Oaks forces the turnover, fires the shot. She makes it 3-1. Penobscot would finish this one off a 5-2 victory, and yet another victory for them. All right, let's go to the hardwood now for some hoops coverage. Doubleheader in Red Barry Gym. Bangor and Hamden going at it. We'll start with the girls. Second quarter, Bangor up. Tegan Atherley finds Taylor Coombs here. She is money from the corner. Drains the three, all three of those. Broncos now still in the second quarter. Bella McLaughlin, she's going to answer right back with the three-pointer of her own off the dribble. Rams were up at the half. Third quarter, Emmy Streams to Cassidy Ireland in the corner. It's a three-party over here. She drains one of her own. And then the future polar bear, Abby Quinn, too strong with the left. Bangor wins this one 57-25. Moving on to the boys' side of things right now. Broncos looking to take their third straight win, and the Rams are trying to defend their home court. We'll kick this off in the first quarter. Connor Boone to Matt Holmes, over to Ryan Ford. Sweet turnaround Jay off the glass. I think he called bank right there. Then it's the Broncos. Zach McLaughlin, pull up mid-range, rattles that one home. And then here he is again, getting to his spot, rising over the D and getting the jumper to fall. Nice shooter's roll right there. And then check out this play, this effort from J.J. Wolfington. Dives out of bounds to save that ball. That floor is not soft. And then he's going to get it back on the break and bury the triple. He is pumped, rightfully so. Hamden wins 70-34. All right, now we go to Orono now. Maine women's hoops trying to pick up a win against Bryant. We will start in the second quarter. And here is Adriana Smith. She's driving, takes the defense out of their shoes with the fake. She gets the lay-in to fall. Later, Bryant sticking it in. This is going to go to Lucy Castagne, to Mariana Plains. Fortuny, who nails her pull-up jumper right there. But it would be all Black Bears from that point on. Here is Abby Lawrence to Sarah Talon. Over to Caroline Bornman. She pulls up, nothing but net from three. Black Bears roll in this one. They win 66-43. All right, and the Black Bears and Bulldogs also going at it down in Rhode Island. We'll start this one in the first half. Maine looking for their fourth straight win. Bryant with the ball. It's Charles Pride. He sends it outside to Sheriff Gross Bullock. He drills the three ball for the Dogs. End of the first, Maine on the break after the steal. Fofo Adetogan. He finishes the job with the lay-in. And then the Black Bears with it still. This is going to be Getty Usapaitis out to the freshman. Jaden Clayton, he is money from the outside. Maine trailed by one at the half, but the Bulldogs were too much in the second. Pride sends it to Earl Timberlake. He slams it home. Bryant ends Maine's win streak. 71-53 is the final. All right, that's all the time we have for sports. Be right back after the break.
Looking to buy or sell a home? The More True team of Better Homes and Gardens works throughout the state of Maine with both buyers and sellers with a focus on the greater Bangor area. Give the ladies of the More True team a call today or visit their Facebook page.
I never get the flu.
My kids don't need more shots.
I don't have time.
We're all healthy.
No matter how you build your excuses, the flu can blow your house down.
I can't believe I used up all my sick time.
I missed a week of school during finals.
Now my baby has it because of me.
The hospital?
Keep your foundation strong. Vaccinate.
When Natural Living Center wants to know the local forecast, they log on to foxbangor.com. Natural Living Center offers natural groceries, organic produce, the largest selection of supplements in the area, gluten-free products, and more for your health.
Winter was welcome about 2 months ago. Now, some think it's overstayed its welcome. It's not going anywhere soon. So, we will have to get away. To someplace sunny, to someplace warm, someplace away from winter. Let's begin at Bangor International Airport, the official airport of making tomorrow's winter break memories today. Flybangor.com.
Rowell's Garage has been serving customers in the greater Dover-Foxcroft region since 1946. Our goal is not just selling you a vehicle, but also giving you quality service to maintain your vehicle at peak performance. Browse our inventory online or in person. Whether it's a car, truck, or SUV, we can put you in the vehicle that is right for you. Sales, service, and parts. Rowell's Garage, doing business the right way every day.
Let's go! February 12th on Fox. Let's go! It's not how you begin. You take advantage of the moment. But how you finish. Dominate from the first snap to the last snap. Turn it up a notch. Super Bowl 57, February 12th on Fox.
Looking to buy or sell a home? The More True team of Better Homes and Gardens works throughout the state of Maine with both buyers and sellers with a focus on the greater Bangor area. Give the ladies of the More True team a call today or visit their Facebook page.
This is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be.
Finally tonight, for months now, residents in a small town have been on a wild goose chase. Devin Dagnall swooped in to talk turkey with those involved.
Since late last summer, a few residents in the town of Plymouth have taken the Canadian goose that they call Lucky Duck under their wing. A few eagle-eyed residents noticed Lucky Duck was having problems with his wing and tried to help him the best they could by fencing off an area and offering food and shelter.
I put a crate there and I put hay in the crate and I've been feeding him and I'm just letting him slowly get used to the changes. And he keeps coming up on shore, and I made a nest area where I packed it all down, and so he's getting used to things, and he knows that nobody's going to hurt him here.
As the seasons changed and Lucky Duck stayed around, residents became worried that the injury was more serious than initially thought. With the rapid drop in temperature expected this weekend, local resident Steve Dupuis worries that if Lucky Duck is not taken out of the cold, he may not survive.
He's always been there. Every time we come down here, he's been right there and watch this. Oh, he's still here. I said, oh my gosh, he's not going to make it. Yeah. He's losing weight. You can see that. And if we don't get rid of him or get him somewhere, he's going to die.
According to Dupuis, there have been a few attempts to corral Lucky Duck so he can be taken to the Avian Haven, where they would offer more specialized care. But none have been successful.
I've tried catching him maybe twice, 3 times with a net. As soon as he sees you coming, he heads for the water. Once he gets in the water, it's almost impossible to get him.
Dupuis says he is planning one final attempt to get Duck to the Haven this Friday at 9 a.m. Until then, the goose is loose. In Plymouth, Devin Dagnall for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
I think it's so sweet that they're just going out of their way to help that precious bird.
Yeah,
so great to see.
It really is. Great story and great to see those efforts.
Indeed. All right. Well, good luck to Lucky Duck, and thanks for watching. Good night.
Good night, everyone.